Honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Honorable mentions to the brothers out there prophesying the truth, sincerity, and diligence. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom. I want to do a lesson on why the apostles and elders and the men of Great Millstone stress the Hebrew. And I'll just start off by reading the preface of the Holy Bible. It says, the Holy Bible containing the old, not right here. I got my Bible on the side. It says, the Holy Bible containing the Old and New Testaments translated out of the original tongues and with the former translations diligently compared and revised. So the King James Version was directly translated from the Hebrew and the Greek, the original tongues. That the men of the Lord, the prophets and the apostles, etc., were speaking at that time, right? Now the problem is when you translate something into another language, everything is not always clear, and the scripture actually tells you that in Sirach 1:1. It says, I'll just jump down. It says, wherefore let me entreat you to read it with favor and attention and to pardon us, wherein we may seem to come short of some words, which we have labored to interpret. For the same things uttered in Hebrew and translated into another tongue have not the same force in them. And not only these things, but the law itself and the prophets and the rest of the books have no small difference when they are spoken in their own language. All right. And that's plain. And I'll give you an example. You may have, when you hear Spanish being spoken, you ever heard, some Mexicans or Puerto Ricans or whatever speaking Spanish, and one of them might have told a joke in Spanish, and you like, oh yeah, well, translate it for me in English, and they attempt to, and they can't really properly translate it in English because it don't have the same force in it. You know what I mean? And then they try to break it down to English, and then it's not that funny and it don't make sense, because different languages have their own characteristics, So what else I want to do? Oh, okay. Let's get an example. Let's get an example of that real quick. Okay. All right. Now this is Genesis 25 and 27. I'll start at 26. Genesis 25 and 26. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. So this is dealing with Esau and Jacob. It says, and the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field. And Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. Now, from our English understanding of the word plain, let's get it. This is the definition of the word plain. It says not decorated or elaborate, simple or ordinary in character. Some synonyms: simple, ordinary, unadorned, unembellished, unornamented, unsophisticated. What else they got? Unshowy, unflashy. Then they said good plain food, a plain dress. Okay, so plain, not decorated, not elaborate, simple. Now let's go to the Hebrew. It says perfect, complete, one who lacks nothing in physical strength, beauty, sound, wholesome. Now the next one, it says an ordinary, quiet sort of person. Well, that doesn't goes with complete, morally innocent, having integrity, one who is morally and ethically pure, perfect, look perfect, plain, undefiled, upright. What else they got? To be complete, finished. But then that one says one who lacks nothing in physical strength and beauty. Now, with that being Jacob, and Jacob being the father of the Israelites, don't those definitions seem more in compliance with who the Israelites are today? Are the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, will we be the plain people of the earth, or will we be the one who lacks nothing in physical strength? Because we're the strongest people on earth in beauty, and we're the most beautiful people on earth. All the other nations, starting with the so-called white man, the Asians, they all try to copy and emulate us and try to imitate us. So that's why, the apostles and elders and the men of Great Millstone stress the Hebrew, because that is, with that definition, it said, and Jacob was a plain man. With the English understanding of that word, that's like the exact total opposite of what the Hebrew says. Now, I'll just go back to this. I'll read the second definition. It says, easy to perceive or understand, clear, obvious, clear, evident, apparent, manifest, discernible, perceptible, noticeable, recognizable, striking, conspicuous, self-evident. So when you read the second definition, it's like, okay, well, that's a little better. But going back to what? Going back to the prologue of Sirach, it said, for the same things uttered in Hebrew and translated into another tongue have not the same force in them. So even though that second definition of the word plain was like, it was better than the first, it didn't have that same force. You know what I mean? From reading that Hebrew, let's go back to that Hebrew. And Jacob was a plain man. Jacob was a perfect man. Jacob was a complete man. Jacob was a man who lacked nothing in physical strength and beauty. That's different. That had some oomph, And with that, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Ratazah, this was an edifying lesson. Shalom.